Global Compact Network Ghana, and we are delighted to have you with us today. So the purpose for our gathering today, we would like to introduce the UN Global Compact to you. We will take you through our value proposition, also give you some information on how to join us, and make you aware of the commitments that you would have to fulfill as a participant. And a few ground rules, kindly keep your mics off unless you are speaking. If you would like to make a contribution, you can raise up your hand and we will call upon you to unmute your mic. However, if you have a question during any of the presentations, please put your questions in the chat box and we'll get to it at the Q&A session. So thank you so much. Enjoy your session. And we hope that it will be as fruitful as we intend for it to be. At this point, I'll call on Tolu Lacroix, the Executive Director of the UN Global Compact Network Ghana, to give us some opening remarks.
Hello, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our open house this year. This is an opportunity for us to open our doors to show to everyone who has come here to learn more about the UN Global Compact here in Ghana, and also about the Global Compact globally. This is an opportunity for you to learn about how we help companies apply sustainability to their overall framework. This started with the dream of Kofi Annan back in 2000, and you'll hear a little bit more about what he did to found the Global Compact and make it the global sustainability initiative that it is today. Thank you for coming, and we look forward to welcoming you as a potential new member of the UN Global Compact. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tolu. And so we'll call on Mina to take us through the UNGC, what it is, the strategy, and the value proposition.
All right, thank you, Rhoda. Thanks, Tolu. Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. And thanks for accepting our invitation to be part of today's open house. Before I start with my presentation, I want about three of us to introduce yourself and your organization so that in the course of the presentation, I'll be able to situate your organization in the discussion so that you see how much the offerings that we have as an organization will be suitable for you. So if we can get 3 volunteers to tell us your name and your organization and just a line of what you are into before I start my presentation. Anyone willing to share? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
My name is Adelaide Benapempe. I am Managing Partner of BNP Associates, a law firm based in Labone.
All right, thank you, Adelaide. Any other person? Kojosaki, would you like to let us know who you are and your organization and what you do?
Okay, sorry for not finding my video on. My name is Kojo Saki, and I work with Akasa Global Limited as a managing consultant. We are business development company.
Thank you. Any other person who is willing to introduce yourself and your organization? All right, so we already have 2, so I'll go into my presentation for today. So today our main goal is to, please can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
No, I can't.
Okay, great. Perfect. So basically, we are seeking through this session to establish why a participant who want to work with us or a business person who want to join the UN Global Compact. And in summary, we are the world's largest corporate initiative, sustainability initiative, and the goal is to work with businesses to help accelerate and scale global impact. So for us, we believe that regardless of your operation, the sector or the industry you find yourself in, you have a responsibility to contribute to global impact. And so how do we come in? We come in to help you or guide you through your sustainability journey. So today, the main objective of my presentation will be on the how we help businesses like yours to attain global impact or to contribute to global impact. So moving on about the UN Global Compact, who are we? So in 1999, Kofi Annan, our very own Kofi Annan, went to the World Economic Forum, that's Davos, and during the conversations that were happening, it was around that time that the world saw the need to bring all key stakeholders to the conversation when you are talking about development. And if you check the history or the operations of the UN system, they work strictly with government and head of state. So at the end of the day, it's just government rolling out the strategies and the policies that are established at the UN level. But in 1999, Kofi Annan, being the UN Secretary General then, thought it wise that yes, we work closely with civil society in the implementation of our development strategy. But there is this key stakeholder that have a very high footprint when it comes to development and also have high impact and dependency that we are not really bringing into the conversation. And this key stakeholder is the private sector or businesses. And so it makes it hard to even hold them accountable. It makes it even hard to even quantify their effort and their contribution to sustainable development. So why don't we form a compact that will give a human face to the global market? What that means is that we bring in businesses together and having one voice and having one strategy and creating a firmed role for businesses to become key players in the development conversation or implementation. So the UN Global Compact was birthed the year 2000, with 40 businesses signing up to it. And now we can boast of over 30,000 members across the world. So for us, our main aim is to help businesses to contribute to the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. But we have what we call the 10 principles, which serve as a lens for our members as they are working towards the attainment of the goals. We believe that you can attain quality education, you can attain or contribute to climate action while still undermining human rights, while still undermining labor rights, while still having a negative environmental footprint. And so for us, if you become a member, you are not just contributing to the Sustainable Development Goals, but in your contribution, you are ensuring that you are not undermining human rights. In your contribution, you are respecting labor laws. So you can't say that, oh, I'm contributing to creating employment when you are paying your employees less than the minimum wage. You can't say that you are contributing to environmental sustainability when you are funding, maybe you're a financial institution, you are funding activities like Galamsey. You cannot say that you're contributing to the SDGs and be corrupt. And so for us, you are using the lens of human rights, the lens of labor rights, the lens of environmental sustainability, and anti-corruption in the attainment of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals. And the main outcomes that we are expecting to achieve through the use of our 10 principles to attain the goals are that: one, to drive impact on specific goals. Secondly, to scale ambition. And third, to make measurable progress. Also, on the driving impact on specific goals, we strongly believe that as an organization, yes, we can stand for all things, but when you are for all things, it's difficult to even make impact. And so we have some 7 specific goals that we work on. So all our tools and our resources that we make available to the business community are based on these 7 thematic areas. Then, as we drive impact on these aspects, we expect that wherever you are on your journey of sustainability, we expect you to scale. So for instance, if you take gender mainstreaming as your focal point and as your target, so you have a target that at the end of the year, you recruit or you engage 20 women. This is for 2024. In 2025, you expect that you shift your goalpost higher. So instead of 20, we are expecting you to make progress to a 50, to an 80, or even to 100. That's how ambitious we want businesses to become. Now that the conversation of ESG, that's the environment, social, and governance principles, are becoming central in business communication, business feel, oh, let's just do something. Let's just implement a project on the side to show that we are also contributing. But that's not what we want. We want you to integrate sustainability into your business model, and you can really attain value when you set ambiguous targets for yourself. And that will push you to be more innovative. That will push you to come up with creative solutions that not only profit society, but profit your organization as well. And the progress we want to see, we want something that we can measure. So you can say that when you joined the UN Global Compact, or when you made the commitment to ESG or sustainability, you started off with just creating awareness. Now you are heavy or an active player when it comes to policy advocacy, and there is data to support what you are saying. So for us, reporting is very key in our engagement, and in the course of the presentation, I will touch on the reporting bit of it. So moving on, the 7 specific goals that I spoke about earlier. Here are the 7. So we have human rights, labor and decent work, climate change, anti-corruption, gender equality, SDG integration, and transformational governance. So you may ask me, or you may wonder, how come out of the 17 goals, we have chosen just 7 specific goals to work with? We came to these 7 from intensive research that we did right from the global level to the country level. And we realized that when a company commits to these 7 goals, they end up having a ripple effect on all the 17 goals. Because at the end of the day, you end up introducing solutions, interventions that feeds into education, gender inequality, climate action, life on Earth, life below the seas, and everything. You end up having an impact. So that's the reason why we focus on these 7 specific goals. This does not mean that we undermine the other goals, no. In our design, the work and the tools we make available to our participants, they are able to come up with interventions or solutions in all the 17 goals, basing on these 7 goals. Okay, now that you know the impulse of our work and the kind of things that we are seeking to achieve. So I have had instances where I'm engaging a business and the business is asking us, okay, why should we join? And why does even the UN Global Compact exist? So I believe that the first part, the introductory part, has established our main objective, which is helping the business community to contribute to the sustainable development goals using our 10 principles, which is based on the 4 pillars: human rights, anti-corruption, environmental sustainability, and labor rights. Now, this aspect, that is the way we engage, is the value we offer businesses. And with this aspect of the presentation, I'm seeking to answer the question, why should you sign up to be part of the UN Global Compact? So for us, we engage on 4 main ways, media, and it's through this means of engagement that we offer value to our members. And I know you keep hearing me saying participant a lot, because for us, when you become a member of the UN Global Compact, you are not identified as a member. You are identified as a participant, which means that when you come, we expect you to participate in everything that we stand for, in everything that we do. And so that's why I keep using the word participant. So participant is basically members of the network. So the first level of engagement is on the connection, where as an organization, we seek to offer connection opportunities for industry. So we believe that private sector or businesses, well, they can, but when it comes to the attainment of the Sustainable Development Goals, as the Goal 17 rightly stated, there is the need for partnership and collaboration. And how can these partnership and collaboration be fostered unless you bring all the key stakeholders into one room? So as you become a member of the UN Global Compact, we create platforms or events where we bring experts into the room, academia into the room, government into the room, and also CSOs into the room. Because we believe that the CSOs may become the implementing arm for you as an organization, a business, if you're seeking to have some community services as part of your SDG strategy. Academia brings the research and the data aspect, where it gives you the overview of the context in which you're operating, and with data, as a business person, you can work with the data to know which kind of interventions to introduce in your operations, which ones are viable and which ones are not. Then the second means we engage is on the learning platform, where we have several platforms that you can utilize. Then we have the lead bit, then where we expect that you take leadership after you've become a member of the Global Compact. And finally, communication. We believe that reporting is very key. And for now, because of regulations and investment requirements, you have to have a report that indicates that indeed you are taking actions when it comes to the Sustainable Development Goals. So on the connection, how do we do this? We do this through events, and we have events at the country level. We have events at the regional level, which is Africa, and we have events at the global level. So for the country level, we have quite a number of events that we do, virtual events, in-person events. And if you follow us on any of our social media platforms, you see that we share pictures or clips of some of the events that we host in country. And when you come to the regional level as well, I think some few months ago, we had a CEO summit in Rwanda, Kigali this year. And so those are some of the events that we have at the regional level and the global country level. And at the global level, here are some of the events that is currently coming on this year before the year end. So next week, we are having the Private Sector Forum. And because we are an initiative of the UN, as the UN General Assembly is taking place, we have the Private Sector Forum going on as a side event, because if you know the UN system, during conversation, private sector is in the room, is strictly head of state. So how then do we get private sector to feed into the discussions that's happening at the UN level? It's our side effect, events like the Leaders Summit, the Private Sector Forum, where we collate, we get the perspective of the private sector. And as these events are taking place, we see the heads of states after their conversations at the UN headquarters working to also be part of the interaction. So where you are able to lobby for the enabling environment you need and for the policies that you need to be implemented to make you environmentally friendly or sustainability conscious. Then again, you have a room full of investors that are seeking to invest in African market, especially for our Global African Business Initiative, Unstoppable Africa, which is a platform to connect businesses to investors that are seeking to invest in Africa. So when you participate in this program, the likelihood of you meeting an investor who will be interested in your company or your innovation is highly possible. And these are the spaces where conversations of sustainable financing are also had. So it's better off if we have African businesses represented in these conversations so that they can provide investors the information that is true to the context that we are operating in. Moving on from the connection bit, and finally to the connection, we also do one-on-one intros for our members as well. So you have a member in Nigeria or any part of the world that is part of the UN Global Compact, we are able to connect you to that member for collaborations or partnerships that you may want to ensue. Then on the learning platform as a means of engaging businesses, for us, we believe that sustainability is ever evolving. If you've paid attention to the conversations on climate action, conversations on environmental sustainability, conversations on even sustainable procurement, you realize that as the years progresses, there are new policies, new principles coming up. So we believe that it's time or it's crucial for us to have our members, have a platform for our members to keep themselves abreast with the changing dynamics of sustainability. So our first learning platform is our library, which it's an open source. So whether you're a member or you're a non-member, you have access to it. So I will entreat all of us to visit our website and access our library. So maybe you're not yet a member, but you really want to integrate sustainability into your model. When you go onto our library, you find business briefs and policy briefs that can help you know what interventions to introduce in your operation. So for instance, we have the SDG Ambition Guide. So if you are a company and you're seeking to set an ambition for yourself and you don't even know where to start from, or you've started and you're encountering so many challenges, you can just go up to this document and it will tell you how to even set your goals and what to do to even achieve those goals. So it makes your journey easier for you. Then we have, aside the library, we have what we call the tools. The tools are basically platforms that we have come across to make your work easy for you. So for instance, I really like the SDG Action Manager because it helps you to take action, it helps you to track progress, and it helps you transform the world we are all living in. So how does this tool work? So maybe you're a law firm like BNP Associates, and okay, as a law firm, you don't know where to start from when it comes to the integration of the SDG or the ESG. You just go onto the portal, you open it, and you input your data into it. So what I mean by data is your organization's name, what's the kind of sector you are in, your industry, the services you provide. And this tool will be able to tell you which of the SDGs you should prioritize as an organization, the interventions you can introduce. So if it tells you that from the kind of work you do, you're from the service sector, so maybe quality education should be a priority to you. It tells you even the kind of intervention or activity you can undertake to meet that target of quality, improving quality education. Similar to the Decent Work Toolkit for sustainable procurement. So now you are seeing that if before anybody works with you, they want to conduct due diligence on you. Before anybody gives you any funding opportunity, they want to know how you go through your procurement procedure. So maybe because your organization or your company is small, you don't have a procurement department or anything like that. So how then do you ensure that you are abiding by the sustainable procurement principles? This is a tool that helps you to know how to navigate the sustainable procurement space. So how do I ensure that the way I'm procuring my resources or raw materials, it does not conflict or it doesn't give room to corruption activities and all that. This toolkit helps you to do that. Then we have the Women Empowerment Principle Gender Gap Analysis tool. This is a tool that helps you to mainstream gender. And as part of this tool, once you sign up onto it, it gives you even business cases that you can learn from. How an organization similar to yours have been able to mainstream gender, and you get to be able to learn from their lessons, the challenges they went through and how they address these challenges. So this makes the integration much easier, and you don't even need a third party or a consultant to come in to help you do this thing. Anybody on your team can be trained to use any of these tools, and it's quite straightforward and user-friendly. You just sign up and we even have tutorials on how to use some of these tools as well. Webinars, we host regular webinars on how to use these tools to your advantage, so you don't have to spend additional monies on getting consultants to meet this need of yours. Then another interesting learning platform we have is our academy. And this is the premier e-learning platform for you, where you get to train all your staff. So as an organization, you can train from the board to the cleaners and everybody. If you want everyone in your firm or in your consultancy space to appreciate why as an organization you should commit to sustainability, this is the platform for you. And we have several courses that you can tap into. So for instance, if your goal based on the sector you find yourself, science-based targets, certain science-based targets is of priority to you, we have an entire model on science-based targets for businesses that you can learn from. We have several thematic areas that you can learn from as well. We have lessons on SDG reporting. So you want to report on your contributions towards the Sustainable Development Goals. How do you go about it? What are the things that you should put in your report? There is a lesson on how to write even the report, what you should include in the report, the metric, how to set your metrics, how to set your targets, how to achieve it. Everything is stated for you during the academic courses. And these are all self-paced courses. So once you start, and usually for the introductory parts, you have about 2 hours, 3 hours, and you get the needed information you need to integrate sustainability into your model. Then we have what we call the peer learning groups. One key thing about sustainability is that you have to learn from others who have already taken the lead. And in my engagement with private sector, for the past 5 years, I realized that even with the same businesses within the same sector, producing the same goods and services, they are all not at the same level when it comes to their sustainability journey. And usually most of the challenges or the frustrations you are facing in your integration process, a player within your industry has gone through it and had overcome it. So one key thing that we do here is to create the platform for knowledge sharing and experience sharing. And we do this through our peer learning groups, where it's facilitated, where you come in to share your best practices and challenges. And some of these platforms are done at the global level, the regional level, and the country level as well. So for instance, maybe for you, you feel that you're a multinational company or you have international partners. So your level of ESG integration is way higher than the ordinary Ghanaian business. You have access to a peer learning group, which is global, that you can learn from peers that are even beyond the level you find yourself in. And not just that, we always bring on board during these peer learning discussions experts in the space. So for instance, if you are within the banking sector and you are having conversations on how to tap into sustainable financing, what happens is that maybe, I think in Ghana, Ecobank and Cowbank are the two banks that have been able to access the climate funds, the green climate funds. And so once we are in the room, they have the opportunity, there is an opportunity for them to share how they were able to tap into the green funds, so that the other banks in the room can also learn how to also tap into the existing sustainability funds. And some of the funding opportunities or opportunities that exist, it needs collaboration because of the ticket side. This is the room or the space where you can, okay, this player, although we are competitors, but there is a level that we can partner or collaborate to achieve our set targets or come up with a mutually beneficial strategy that we can all gain from. So beyond the peer learning groups, we also have our accelerators, where the aim is to foster innovation, to foster best practices, and also to provide resources that companies need in order to grow in their sustainability journey. So this, unlike the academy, is quite intensive and takes between 6 to 9 months period. And it's usually hybrid. What that means is that we have in-person camps here in Ghana, and we have the online ones that take place on our academy portal. And so for us in Ghana, we localize the one for the SDG innovations for young professionals. And for that, the goal was that each company, member company of ours, will submit a team of 4 members. So your team, who are young professionals, will go through an intensive program where they go through design thinking, problem solving, strategies and solutions, how to even come up with your solutions, then your prototype design and your testing, then you have a showcase of your solution. And I think about 2 weeks ago, we had the showcase of the solutions that came out of the accelerators that we had. We had Ghana Manganese presenting their solution. We had CBG, that's the Consolidated Bank of Ghana. We had Ecobank representing them. We had Blair and Associates, which is a law firm, also represented. And from this, Blair and Associates, a law firm, the solution they submitted is going to be showcased at the Leaders Summit, which is happening in the US next week. And these are some of the values that we gain. And because these solutions may need funding or may need external party support, imagine if your company's solution or innovation gets selected and you have the opportunity to showcase it to global leaders and investors. One, is a great marketing platform for your organization. Secondly, you may likely tap into resources to help you implement the solution that you were able to come up with. Or better still, you may get partners who want to come on board to share their expertise with you to make your solution a better one. So currently we have this level of participation. We have the SDG ambition, we have the SDG innovation, which we localize, and we have the climate ambition accelerator, which is currently ongoing and it's being done virtually. So for Ghana, we have Jospon group of companies joining, and we have Absa Bank joining that one as well. Then we have the target gender equality, business and human rights. So for these accelerators, you look at the ones that speak to your organizational needs and you can sign up, and you're not restricted to the number of accelerators you can join. Then moving on, we have given you a learning platform. We've given you a capacity development opportunity. What next? We expect that after you tapping into all these resources we are making readily available to you, you show leadership and inspire others. So let's say BNP Associate joins the UN Global Compact. We expect that in a year or two, when it comes to law firms or the legal systems and sustainability, we are expecting BNP to be on the list of advocates or leaders ensuring that our 10 principles are being upheld, and also they are taking, as a firm, they are taking a lead in the conversations regarding sustainability within the legal system. So how do we create the opportunity for our members to lead? We have our coalitions where it's by invitation. So once you show a high level of expertise and participation in the activities of the UN Global Compact, and you holding on to our tenants and also contributing immensely beyond even your sector, then you get the opportunity to be invited to be a member of any of these coalitions that we have. We currently have the CEO Water Mandate. So if your aim or your company has a high experience in ensuring water sustainability, this is the go-to coalition for you. Ocean stewardship. So let's say you are a shipping company, you are directly connected to the blue economy, or your clients, most of your clients are connected to the blue economy, and you have massive experience in it, and you have a track record of your contribution to ocean, the wellness of the ocean, then you have the chance of becoming part of the coalition. And we have the science-based target and the CFO coalition, which is for sustainable finance. Then aside just joining coalition, for us, no matter the size of your business, whether you're a multinational or you are a domestic company, if there is no enabling environment for you, you can never be committed to sustainability. It becomes difficult. So imagine that you are, let's say you are a food production company, and now Galamsey is taking over your farms. If it's not even taking over your farms, you produce on your farm and they test it and there are chemicals in it. So unfortunately, you can't export your products outside Ghana. And your market size in Ghana too is small. That's you killing your business. So one other value we offer our businesses is policy advocacy, which is usually industry targeted and industry specific. So what that means is that we have our ways of engaging or influencing policy. So as a UN initiative, of course, the UN is our first go-to policy engagement, because one thing I didn't add during my introduction was how we report to the UN Secretary General. He actually is our head. And so if you decide to join, the letter that you submit to express your interest in joining will be addressed to the UN Secretary General. And the CEO of the UN Global Compact is a deputy assistant to the UN Secretary General as well. So that's our first policy influence. And at the regional level, we work closely with the AU, we work closely with other regional entities like the ECOWAS and all others to also ensure that at the regional level, we are having policies, head of state or governments are being sort of gotten their buy-in to create that policy and enforcement to ensure that businesses have the room to operate sustainably. And beyond that too, we also do our business advocacy, and we have closed door events. So you are talking about advocacy with a business person and goes like, yes, this is a problem you are facing, but unfortunately we can't put our face out there because of the fear of witch hunting. So we become the image for our members. We become the voice for our members when it comes to policy. So if it's something that you feel per the nature of your operations, you can't put your face out there, but you need work to be done on, then we become the voice for you and we enter those policy discussions for you. And when there is the need for closed doors policy conversations, we make that also happen as well. Then on the taking leadership, we also have campaigns that we run. That's the aim is to promote the agenda. So, and the campaigns are one solid way of creating awareness. So currently we are rolling out the Forward Faster campaign, where if you've checked on any of the SDG related reports, you will see that we are only making track. We are on track when it comes to about 15% of the SDGs, and we are retrogressing when it comes to 35% of it. And now every day it seems new conflicts or wars are popping up. And so clearly on the retrogressing bit, I'm sure by the end of the year, when they do the analysis and the report, that figure is going to increase. So we are currently running a campaign where we are asking all stakeholders to intensify their commitment and their actions towards the attainment of the development goals. And so we just don't call you to sign up. We provide you all the tools and the resources for you to be able to be part of the campaigns that we have. So in relation to the campaigns, we provide even media toolkits that you can use. So you don't have to now employ a designer to design flyers for you, or you now don't have to burden your comms team to now create content for the campaigns. Our tools are already available. Whenever we introduce new campaigns, we provide you with the content that even you can use to post without even doing anything to it. You just adapt it and share it on your social media platforms and other platforms that you use for your awareness creation and your advocacy works. Then we have the Think Lab. So this is one of the sources of the content generation for our academy. And if you've ever, or you know anybody who have ever accessed our academy, we keep revising our content. And so we have a Think Lab that helps us to know that the content we are providing onto our academy or for our accelerators or any of the offerings we have for our participants are up to date. So this is where, so for instance, let's just take just transition. So energy transition. So for about 7 years, the conversation was on circular economy. Then we moved to green economy. So wherever you go, there is a bit of green economy. Then now we are talking about just transition. So we are saying that businesses, we are not asking you to cease your operation, but we are asking you to transition in a very just manner. So how do you go about it? Then that means we have to keep our network or our community informed. And so our Think Labs then create these thought leadership development and come up with content that addresses the current challenges of businesses, that also helps to address the new trends that are coming within the sustainability space. So our academy and all our tools and resources are not outdated because they are revised regularly to meet the current trends. Then on the final ways we engage, that is the communication. We believe that showing through your report how you are contributing to sustainability is very key, because what it does is that it helps establish transparency and also helps build trust. So especially for companies in Ghana, you may see on radio, you may see on TV or hear on radio that, oh, this company is a green company, sustainability conscious. You go to programs and they are all talking about it. But you go onto their platform, their website, and you're not seeing any reports whatsoever on there. So for us, we have a reporting system that helps you to come up with a report annually. And that's one key responsibility of a participant of the UN Global Compact. At the end of every year, we are expecting you to provide a report on your contributions or your interventions that you made towards sustainability. And what the report does is that it helps you and all your stakeholders to understand sustainability and why it helps you to establish the why as a business you've chosen to integrate sustainability into your model. Then the second bit is it helps you to set clear targets. One of the most difficulty in engaging businesses in Ghana is how unclear they are when it comes to their targets. So it's not part of their business model. They often treat sustainability as at an arm's length. And so this is our operation, this is ESG, and these are the things so they don't really have a clear target. But if you're going to report, when we share the template with you, you see how that template helps you to even set your target. And the other thing that the reporting template helps is that it helps you to track your progress. So if you have joined and your contribution towards anti-corruption, or let's say human rights, it's maybe at 8%, we expect that you grow. So if you are reporting on 2024 and you realize that, okay, from the data, you made a commitment to 20 women or to contribute 20% of your efforts to advocacy, anti-corruption advocacy, and you realize that at the end of the year, you were able to contribute just 8%. It helps you after tracking that you get to know, okay, what were the issues that came up? What were the challenges that made it hard for you to achieve your target? And what can you introduce to help you overcome those challenges and meet your 2025 target? Then the final bit of the report is that you disclose. So when you submit your report to the UN Global Compact, you don't submit it via email that you will say, oh, I submitted my report to Mina. And so it's just Mina that sees. No, when you submit your report, it becomes open source, and anybody that goes onto our portal will have access to your report. So how do they get to see your reports? Once you become a member, you have a page on our website, and this is how the page looks like, where the man is. So your company's name, you can upload any videos of yours on the platform, then the country in which you are based, your number of employees is there, the sector you find yourself, and the ownership, if it's a sole proprietorship, if it's a company limited by liability, all those ones is clearly stated. And you can see the bits of active or inactive, which I will talk about. So when you upload your report, let's come to the communication on progress. So for us, we refer to our report as communication on progress. So if you look at the second box, the box in the middle, we have communication on progress. So publish date. So it shows when that report was uploaded. So we have Colgate-Palmolive Company. So they uploaded their report 2018. So now when you go onto their portal, you will see reports from 2018 to 2024. And so if an investor, you tell an investor that you are a member of the UN Global Compact and you report annually, the investor can go onto our portal and assess all the reports you have submitted. The good thing is that it gives them the leverage to track your progress, because they will see what you did in 2023 and they will see what you've done in 2024. And then they can tell whether you are making progress or you are retrogressing. Then on the platform as well, you can integrate your social media handles or any communication bits that you want on your company out there. So it serves as also a marketing platform for you as an organization. You can integrate your website as well. Then we have recognition programs. So I remember last week I was having a meeting with one company, and they were saying, one comment that came was like, for us, we've shown that we are leaders within the sustainability space. And for us, a priority is seeking for a platform where we can showcase that our interventions and show that we are leaders when it comes to our sector and sustainability. So we have those recognition programs. So we currently have the SDG Pioneers program, where it's open to the public and for businesses that are really introducing innovations and interventions that are addressing global issues. So irrespective of the sector you find yourself, you can be a construction company, you can be a law firm, you can be any company. Once you have an innovation that is addressing key challenges with a wider scope of impact, then you qualify to be recognized as that. And that's a global platform. And we had BSIS, who is a Ghanaian and was operating in Ghana and came up with a digital technology that was addressing most challenges that the world is facing today. And he gained that recognition for that. And after that, he was exposed to a whole lot of opportunities. And now he has moved his business from Ghana to the US. And he's one of the committed members of the UN Global Compact, Ghana and even the US that he is now, and a strong advocate for. He has tasted and seen the benefits of the UN Global Compact. Then for Ghana too, we are introducing a strategy where we get to recognize the effort of our businesses. So even at the global level, we are now collating impact stories. So if you have a documentary, you have reports or indicating the intensive work or innovations or interventions you are introducing, we showcase those documentaries and those clips onto all our social platforms to the world to know, to show the world that this is what, as a law firm or as a construction firm or as an account consultancy firm, you are doing to contribute to sustainability. So once you join, once you become a member, you can share those contents with me and we will flag it to the global level. Then, now to one of the main responsibilities of a member. when this presentation is done, I will show the fee structure for specific to Ghana. So for us, when you join, you have three main objectives. Let me put it at three. Three main responsibility towards the compact. The first one is that you submit your annual report. And earlier on, I explained the benefits of putting together a report. And I believe that now regulators are all requiring that a report is submitted at the end of the day. So for that one, you can't skip it. So you submit your report. Then the second thing is that you make your financial contributions. And the financial contribution is based on your annual revenue. I've been asked the question that why don't you do it like the other business associations where you just have tiers, so gold, platinum members, and the company decide to choose which kind of tier they want. We don't operate like that because for us, the goal is not to generate revenue. We are a UN initiative. We are not profit oriented. So the goal is actually contribute to the work that we do. So basically, even in the creating of the content, in ensuring that the academy platform is running, it demands money. I know some tech firms are on this call and they can attest that running an online e-learning platform is costly. So that's why we don't even classify this as fees. We classify it as contribution. And we base on annual revenues because regardless of your scale, we want you to be able to join the UN Global Compact because we believe that if you are a company of just 10 employees and a company of 20 employees or thousands of employees, we can all make impact and we all need these tools and supports that the Compact offers. And so this is currently how the contribution is calculated. But you can go onto our website as well. We have the annual contribution calculator where you input your annual revenue and the calculator will tell you how much money or contributions you have to pay every year. And this is an annual contribution or an annual contribution. So now that you know your responsibility, and the third responsibility that nearly escaped me is the participation. We've had instances where businesses join, they know all these academies, all these accelerators, but they don't utilize it. We want you to utilize it. It's not really about the money. So if at the end of the day, you are going to join and not utilize it, then you may as well not join at all. Because one, there is record on your participation. So for instance, the academy, you can say every quarter, you want to know, even if it's every month, you want to know how many of your employees did a course on the academy. We are able to provide you that data. So if at the end of the year, you are a member and you're not assessing any of our values or the opportunities represent to you, then it defeats the purpose of joining. So now that you know the responsibilities of a participant, you know the value. One, you know who we are. Secondly, you know the value we offer our businesses, the way we engage. You know the three main responsibilities of members of the Compact. Then how do you get to join? So our joining process is strictly online and it's integrated because we are a global network. It's just one platform. So when you go onto our website, the join web, you see a bit on the join now where you get to input your application. So basically the kind of data they will be asking you is your highest executive contact details, the main liaison for your company. That's the second person who will become the contact person for your organization. Then your registration certificate. Then you submit a letter to state that you are expressing interest and that you are publicly admitting to abide by our principles. And also so there is a sample letter for you that you can adapt and put it on your letterhead. So once you have provided the data, it enters into the system and it goes through about 6 or 7 review cycle. So you'll be reviewed at the global level. Then at the 6th time, it will get to the country network level where you will see me in your office to just touch base with you and stressed on the value that we are offering, and also stressed on your commitment, because at the end of the day, I don't want to approve a company that I'm unsure would show or commit to the journey. So I know some of you have applied and your application is still pending. It's because we've not gotten feedback from you to indicate that indeed you know your responsibilities as a participant and you're committed to it. So that's basically how it's done. And once it's approved, then we have an onboarding session for you. So that's basically it for us at the UN Global Compact. So let's get social, go on to online, our social media handles, and some of you, because today I sent out emails to you, already have my email address. Some of you already have my contact, so you can reach me at any time. And please engage on our social media handle, like, share, put your comments. If we post on an event that you want to inquire more about, you can ask it and our comms team will handle it. This is the very end, but then again, let me show you the new fee structure for Ghana so that you know how much you're going to pay if you are joining. So fortunately, please, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, great. So fortunately, you see that in my presentation, it's ended at below 25 million to 1 million. And this is in USD because our head office sits in New York. So our pricing and everything is done in USD. But when you are paying, because of local laws, you can pay the CD equivalent at the time of paying. So we now have new rates. We have below 1 million to 100,000. You pay $1,000 at the end of the year or during that. So we have our payment structure. So we issue out invoices in October. Then the deadline for payment of the contribution is 31st March. If you have the new concerns where these rates or this structure does not work for you, you send an email notification or you request for a meeting to discuss it. But that is the payment window. So we are going to issue out invoices for 2025 for the already existing members in October, so that you have from October to the next year, March, to prepare. Then we have below 100,000 to 10,000 paying $750 per annum. Then if your annual revenue is below 10,000, then you are paying 500 USD. Then for startups, we realized that in my engagement with businesses, you have startups telling you, we really need it right now. Our investors are looking or requiring for it. And we want, one, we can't employ consultants. Secondly, we can't afford the trainings as well. So we want to be part of your network so that we can tap into all the pools or the resources you have. And so we created a layer for startups to pay 250. And a startup here is from 0 to 5 years of operation. And so we expect that through this, your participation in the UN Global Compact, you will be able to integrate ESG, and in the end, you'll be able to attract sustainable finance which will help you scale your operation. And as your operation scale, then the tier changes. So for instance, if you are currently operating in the range of below 100,000 to 10,000 and you're paying 750, and gladly you get to the range between 25 million to 50 million, you let us know, then we will review your revenue data with us, then you start paying the 2,500. The same way that if you are encountering challenges, so we've had businesses coming in and maybe last year they were making 500 million, so they were paying 7,500 USD. But unfortunately, this year, because of what's happening in the economy, they are not able to make that revenue. We are not sticking to you to pay the 5,000. So don't leave. Just communicate the changes that is happening in your organization. Then we will update the data to reflect your current circumstance. And so we don't want you to join and say, okay, this is too much for me to bear, so I'm leaving, because we are not able to make the revenue that we were making in the previous year. So whenever there is those changes in dynamics, kindly do well to let us know. We can have a meeting to discuss it. And one thing on the reporting that I left out is that we have a window for reporting. So we will open the reporting from April to 31st July. So by 31st July, we expect that all our businesses have reported on their sustainability efforts. And if you are not able to meet, because maybe your reporting is different from the timelines that we are working with, similar to the fees, you let us know, then we can engage to see how best we can extend the deadline for you. But as much as possible, we want our participants to work within the window that we open for the payment of the contribution and the submission of the report as well. So that's basically it about us, the UN Global Compact. I hope I've been able to provide you with the needed information. So on that note, I will take questions. And if you have comments, if you have anything, kindly let me know.
Thank you very much, Nina, for that presentation. It's very, very helpful to learn all about what you do. At some stage when you were speaking, you mentioned that membership invoices go out in October and you have until March. And then later on, you talked about window of reporting between April and July. When you mentioned you have until March to do what? To make payment or to report?
Okay, so first off, for new joiners, as you join, as your application gets approved, you are issued an invoice immediately for an immediate payment for new joiners. It's for the already existing members that we issue invoices for contribution in October. Sorry, and we expect that they make payment by the end of March. So October to March is the payment of your contribution. So for now, if BNP Associates is joining, because we are almost at the end of the year, you'll get a pro rate for now to the end of December. So we will do the percentage for you. Then we add it to the full contribution payment you will make next year and issue an invoice to you, and we expect you to pay within a week or a month's time. That is it for new joiners, but for old joiners, it's from the October to the March of the payment. Then on the reporting, we report from April to July. So anytime from April to July, you can upload your report. However, because this is how the reporting is done, so if BNP joins today, you will report, your report will be due next year. You're not expected to report this year. if you join, you are given a 1-year window to report, because it's the progress you are making when you join us that we want to see. However, if you already have a sustainability report that you want the public to see, so you can easily upload that as well. Secondly, if your report, so maybe your reporting structure, so let's take Ecobank for instance. Ecobank report is always ready in January, in the first quarter. So Ecobank does not wait for the April-July window. They upload their report all the time in the first quarter. So once your report is due, because you are reporting on the previous year, once it's due, you upload it onto your portal. But if it's not due in the first quarter and you want to work within, we expect that all our members upload their reports latest by the 31st of July. Adelaide, please, I hope that's clear.
That's very clear. I
Yeah.
was also considering when you mentioned Lay Associates, since it's a global organization, do you have other law firms, international law firms that have signed up that perhaps in considering whether we join or not, we can have that tangible example that we can look at in terms of what they have focused their sustainability efforts on, what they've reported on, how they have done it. So that we can, because although you've provided us with a lot of information, it's always overwhelming to try and picture how you start step by step. So it's always good to see those who've gone before, to have an idea of how they've done it, and then we can start thinking about how it will work for us in practice.
Okay. All right. So first off, I think for BNP, your first option will be the use of the SDG manager, which will give you the highlights on where to even focus on. Secondly, on the bit on the law firms that are part of the network, for Ghana, we just have Blay and Associate. But on the global level, I would have to search on our website and get back to you. But we have quite a number of them as well. So I will share I'll find as many as I can and collate the data and share with you via email.
That'll be very useful, Mia.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, I see some comments in the chat. Okay, please, I hope this slide will be, yes, we will share this. Oh, that has been responded already. Okay, so I think Rhoda has done a good job answering all the questions in the chat. Any questions or contributions, or you want clarification? All right, then, Rhoda, I guess I'll hand it over to you. Thank you so much for your audience.
Thank you so much, Mina. And we would like to thank everyone for making time for this morning's meeting, taking time of your schedule. We really appreciate it, and we hope we've been able to provide you with as much information as possible on why you should join the UN Global Compact, the benefits you stand to gain, the steps that you would actually take to join. So after this session, we will share the presentation together with all the information and links on how to join. So you can go ahead and begin your application. If you need any assistance, any further information, feel free to reach out to us. If you also want specific information like BNP Associates requested, feel free to do that, and we will provide you all the information that you require. So in the absence of any question or comment from any of us, we would like to bring today's meeting to a close.
Hi, Rhoda. Before
Hi,
we
Mina.
go, please, we will send a link for our survey. So I'm sure when you end the call, it will take all of us to an evaluation form. Please kindly do well to put in your feedback, and we hope that you can join the UN Global Compact. And I'm on standby if you have any questions, you want to engage your management on it and you don't know how to build it. We have several business cases for you that you can learn from and also know how best to engage your management. And if you want us to meet your management one-on-one to have this conversation with, we are also open to have those conversations. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Mina. Thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your day. And please remember to fill the survey.
Thank you too.
Thank you, Rhoda.